frontier. This is Football Daft with Stephen Purden,
midfield dynamo and average actor,
Chris Toll,
target man, suspicious character,
and
With the top end of Stevenson, Grado!
Welcome to Football Daft, the daftest Scottish football podcast around. My name's Stephen Purden, aka Shellsuit Bob, and let's welcome your starting lineup. First, a man who... What? I'll say that again. Let's welcome a man who recently endorsed Pie Sports on his Twitter. It's Grado. Wait, what's that all about, mate?
Oh, is that the thing with McGee's, the 442 package?
I saw this, Greg. I thought, what a brilliant idea on your Twitter when they're basically sending out your pie and bovril for when you sit, obviously because we're not at the games, so sending out pie and bovril to your house so you can sit and watch the games with the pie and bovril. Brilliant.
See, do you know what? It's funny, right? Because, like, see how I don't know what it is when I go to Fitbit and all that, right? I don't really... what I'm saying is like, I can imagine you loving that at the Fitbit, John. I mean, I love my scoff, but see the way you were excited there. What an idea to come to the house with a pie and a bovril and the pies, you know?
Hold on.
You know what I mean? But we scarfone and all that.
Yeah. John's definitely one of the guys that goes to the games and gets a pie and a bovril, isn't he?
Aye, that's what I mean.
Right, hold on a minute, right? What do you have when you go to a football match?
I get a steak pie and a Coke.
Sometimes I just get like chips and curry sauce outside the grun, but recently I've been
Do they still see at Ibrox? Do they still have all their food named after the players?
don't think they do.
No.
No, remember you used to get like a Gaza burger and a bowl of soup?
Aye.
A Loudrup lasagna.
Oh, mate, you missed that, a bowl of soup?
I don't want.
Come on!
A bowl of
Fuck
soup.
you.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Come on, you bunch of pricks!
But speaking of food, let's welcome a man who recently made a bolognese burger, Chris Toll. What a chef you are these days, mate.
I've been battering into it, man. It's great fun. It's great fun. I'm actually eating a bit of toaster now.
Did you make that toast yourself, mate?
You get the recipe?
It's mother's pride and half a pint of Lurpak.
Right, aye.
No, it was my missus that made me there. She's a whiz with a toaster. A whiz with a toaster.
She's a whiz with a toaster. So what's been happening, boys?
Nothing, man. I've just been like you say there. I'm just trying out all the staff cooking stuff still. But what's been happening in the football world is what I want to know.
Grado, tell us, man. What's been happening?
Oh man, just reconstruction and all that, and
No, oh! What a weekend, man! First trophy out there to be won. The Rangers go out there. They beat Lyon 2-0. They beat Nice 2-0. It's just, I mean.
aye, but you know what? I don't think they put out. I don't think Lyon and Nice put out a strong side against Celtic. To be honest with you, that's what I heard.
What?
They kind of rested their players and that. Did they not?
I don't know. We're Celtic playing this week.
No, mate, they didn't turn up.
What I will say is the first game we got robbed, that was never fucking offside, that Hodgson Edward goal.
Aye.
No, but the thing is, right, Saturday, once the full-time whistle went, right, I put a wee tweet out, right, says first trophy received in the cabinet. Honest to God, man, like, see the responses, people actually think I'm being serious, like, as if I'm pure heavy buzzing with won the Viola Cup, know what I mean? People, honestly, man, Twitter is cesspit. But it was funny. Kerrydale Meltdown retweeted it, man. So I was happy about that, mate. You know what I mean? Oh, but watch your games, Grado?
I did, mate. I missed the second game, but I watched the first game, and I thought the first 10 minutes, mate, I thought, here we go. But you can understand.
I thought we were going to get pumped.
Aye, so did I. See, when he scored, I went, oh, Christ. There I go. That way. I was like, oh.
Yeah. Aye,
it was that kind of, oh. Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
And then we scored an air, man, and it was just like, it just looked really, really comfortable. I thought John McLaughlin looked solid in goals as well. I thought that was a good debut, man.
I thought Big Edmondson was solid at the back. The first game against Lyon, he looked good. Second game, he looked a wee bit ropey. But tell you something, I think the shape of Rangers impressed me. Without the ball, see, out of possession, our shape looked brilliant. See, as soon as we lost the ball, we didn't have the ball. The front three just went so narrow, making teams try and play around you. I was impressed all round. Right. But it's only pre-season.
Right, can I speak to you about this, right? Because
yes,
you know how my knowledge of fucking the Premier League now it's pure right, and I don't really I don't bother with it as much as Scottish football, right? I know it's a bit of redneck you're doing on a football podcast, but see, watching that football the weekend, Man United with that Harry Maguire. Holy
fuck me,
mate,
man.
The man when he's trying to run out in the back with the ball.
Mate,
You know what
somebody up the school playing.
That's exactly what it was like, mate. Honestly, it reminded me of Sunday League football. I'm
Mate,
no joking.
See, sometimes watching Harry Maguire, it makes Rob Kiernan look like Franz Beckenbauer. Honestly, man.
What you need to remember about this is Harry Maguire is the most expensive footballer, most expensive defender in world football history.
But that's where I feel sorry for him. That's not his fault.
That's not his fault, mate.
It's not his fault. Man U decided to pay that for him. And you can
you know
tell
what?
whenever the ball's at his feet, that weighs heavily on his mind when he's got the ball. Do you know what I mean? Because him and one, I don't know, the two centre-halves from Man U.
But here, there's no way, right? See how that Harry Maguire, right? And like that, right? You're going to Man United, and he's like, right, tidy, Man United. How much am I going for? 80 million. You're like, oh, come on, man. Don't tell me when you don't. No, come on, that's too much. He's definitely done that, and he's went, come on, come on, don't take. You know what I mean? They would have been pure fucking biffing out.
The only guy on his agent going, look, can you not get that done a bit?
How much did they pay me a week? Oh no, come on, just fucking. What a couple of zeros off that going, man. Oh, damn it.
Aye, every time he's talked to his mates, that much as Man U put in for you, if you're saying it lower, 8 million.
8 million? 8 million, that's a lot.
8 million, that's a lot.
His agent's sitting there, man, fucking creaming his drawers at a dancer. He's on the phone to him. No, mate, we need to get that done.
His agent's on 800 grand, and he's trying. He's like, no, I'm going to see if he'll take 50.
I'm going to pay you 200 grand a week. No, just call it 50, man. Just call it 50. No, I can't take that.
What are you doing with all that? What am I going to do with all that money?
Poor guy.
I feel sorry for him. Well,
I do feel sorry for him.
I feel sorry for him and I don't. He's probably running all the way to the bank every week, you know what I mean? And he's...
Aye, but he's running around in circles, tripping over his feet.
That clip, but I watched the game, he's running out with the ball. He kind of moved it onto his right. He's going to make a pass that way. It was like, remember when FIFA first came out, when you look back at old FIFA, it's like FIFA International Soccer. Like,
you couldn't run around in circles, you had to go diagonals.
It's like you can't, the player's not moving right, but... don't know, big Giroud tore him a new arsehole, man, at the weekend, definitely. Giroud just... But Scottish football, right, the Betfred Cup is to start in October, right, with a February final, with the league format being retained, and this year's Scottish Cup final will be played in December. So, the league couldn't be finished, but in the new league starting, we're still going to have last season's Scottish Cup semi-finals played, then the final played in December. What a fucking farce. Am I right, Marang?
Aye, 100%.
You're right.
It's an absolute... Words fail me. I mean...
Again, this whole... At the time of recording now, obviously, we've not found out the result of the court case.
Yeah, that's true.
That could technically then put that on hold indefinitely. So what's the point in even doing this until we find out what the fucking script is with this arbitration?
Do you know what? I hope it all goes tits up now and the season doesn't start, because their Sky today just changed the fucking Aberdeen game to half 12 kick-off. That's my night fucked. My Saturday's fucked. You know what I mean?
That's right.
My Saturday's fucked. I mean, the boys were coming up about back at 4. We're going to get right on it, but no, come about fucking 4:30, 5 o'clock in the evening, we won't be able to clap a dog sideways. We'll be fucked. You know what I mean? The night's fucked.
Listen, Bob, every cloud, we might not have Panto in December, but we'll have the Betfred Cup final, mate. Each is on.
And the Scottish Cup final, Grado.
It's brutal, mate. Brutal. Like, I mean, right, you look at the Scottish Cup, right? You had, like, suspensions, maybe. You had players on yellow cards. It comes to a semi-final. It's completely, well, not completely new teams, but teams are going to have new signings.
New players are not registered.
Exactly. What's the script? Are we going to have to go by the registration for last season?
You can't, but because Hibs are still in it, they've even got like Stephen Whittaker anymore.
But it's technically it's a different season, right? But it's not a different season. I know that sounds stupid. Do you know
I know what you mean.
But say for example, Celtic, right, turn round and sell Edward and fucking Ryan Christie and that, and severely deplete their squad, right?
Here's hoping.
Well, they players would have been there at the end of last season, but is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? So
He's maybe allowed to get a tap for it. He's maybe allowed. Sorry, mate. I'm talking shit. I was just talking shit. I was like, maybe he could ask the club that you sell him. Hey, can we get a tap of him?
We get a Lennium for the cup games.
You got a Lennium for his game?
Yeah, mate. You see, if I sell you Hodgson Edward, can I get a Lennium for the cup games for last season?
So, boys, see if Panto doesn't happen, like you're saying, what are you boys going to do? You just go out throwing sweeties to people in the streets now? Is that what you're going to do, right?
That's what we're going to do.
Yeah, but
folk will be tweeting about you.
You'll still be able to catch me and Grado at the Pavilion Theatre Glasgow, standing outside.
I'll be
birthdays.
I'll be dressed as Santa. He'll be my wee elf.
I hope these are 2 Grados apart.
If you're just tuning into Football Daft, this is Grado, Shell Suit, Bob, Chris Toll with the main man, producer John. On today's show, we have a very, very exciting guest. We've been wanting to get him on the show for a good couple of years now. He is none other than SPL legend of the game. He was a manager. He played in Bolton. Mixu Paatelainen.
Mixu Paatelainen. What the
What? What was that, Grado?
Is that maybe womanizer?
I don't. Grado's got like a pure underground version, man, of a Mixu song.
It's TikTok.
Is that what you do, eh?
Everyone in there, right? 1, 2, 3. Big Mixu.
What is this? What are we doing?
Right. How much do we love our sponsors for G4? G4 Claims.
Love them.
Well, it's time to thank them once again for their support.
Big G4 Claims.
G4 Claims. Now, so, I want to tell you a bit more about G4 Claims, right? If you have been in a road traffic accident and you're not at fault, then G4 Claims can make it easy for you. They're going to provide you with a complete accident management support you require. They'll recover the costs from the at-fault party, and guess what? They're going to sort you out with a like-for-like vehicle replacement. They're also going to organise your vehicle to be repaired at one of their approved body shops, and it will be returned back to you, no bother. Should your vehicle be deemed a write-off, they'll recover the pre-accident value for your car and write you a big fat cheque. And best of all, it won't cost you a penny, as they charge the at-fault insurance direct. G4 Claims, they don't cold call. They don't buy your data once you've processed your claim, and your insurance will remain unscathed. And the best thing is, Nicole and the team over there, they won't take on your case if they don't think they can help you. So, if you've been in a road traffic accident or you know somebody that has, get on to G4 Claims on 01698 767. That's Get on to G4 Claims on 01698 767 172. Funny, see, we're talking about favourite planes, just to interrupt there. See that Comet at the weekend, that Comet Neo Eyes?
Mm-hmm.
I woke myself up at 3:30 to see it, and I seen these flashing lights get by, and I was like, oh man, that's fucking class. Wow, there's that Comet, that's amazing. And then I'm looking at other folks' pictures, and I'm like, that wasn't what the Comet I seen. I was like, mine was heavy flashing going across the sky. And then I looked at my flight radar, man, it was a fucking 747 coming back for somewhere in America. On the video going, wow. Anyway, the number is 01698 767 172. That's 01698 767 172. Get them on the website, which is notatfaultclaim.com, or you can find them on social media at G4 Claims Limited. G4 Claims, not at fault claims.
Made
easy.
Not at fault claims, made easy for you.
Not at fault claims, made easy.
The Legends Lottery on Football Daft.
It's every week here in Football Daft we search far and wide across the country for the legends that make Scottish football. Each week one of us needs to find a legend, a former hero of the game, and get them here on the show. Then it's up to you to rate how good out of 5 the guest was. Top of the leaderboard is me after a cracking score for Brian McPhee on 13.9. Then Grado's bottom with 3.7, but it's time to see if Stephen can go top. He currently sits on 11.9, and due to a family emergency, his guest couldn't make it last week. So we gave him a bye to this week.
Yes.
Hey, this better be worth it, Stevie boy.
Yeah, well, right. My guest is here. He's ready and waiting. He had a family emergency, as you said, last week. There's nothing we could do about it, right? But I was enjoying my wee run I was on, where I was going tap all the time, but your Brian McPhee's kind of blew me out the water a wee bit.
That was a good
and I'm
one.
a bit raging, because I'm quite pally with Brian myself. I should have thought of getting him on myself. Know what I mean?
I don't know, mate. I think all you'll need to do is get more than 2, and you'll go back
I know,
to the top.
I know, but still, you've caught me up, but it was a right good
That was
score.
a good one, wasn't it? It was a good one, Brian.
Yeah, it's
Right,
funny, right?
This week, what is it, Graham?
I'm just saying, right, see how I was out at the weekend in the boozer, right, and I kept fucking trying to FaceTime Jerry Paatelainen.
Did you know answer?
No, I didn't, right, and then, but I was in my bed for about 9 o'clock, because obviously I had the radio the next day, and I woke up the next morning and I had about fucking 10 missed calls for him. He's obviously not seen him till later on.
Aye, because remember me he had to get his missus to sort his phone when we were trying to connect him and all that. He's probably trying to answer every time you FaceTimed him. It's Grado! It's Grado! Hello!
He can't hear me.
Right, so this week, trips, right, I've got somebody on. Obviously last week he couldn't make it, but this boy played for Rangers, he's played for Bolton, played for Aberdeen, he's played for St Mirren, he's played for Plymouth, Millwall, Northampton.
Oh, I know who that is.
Livingston, Clyde, and he's recently just signed for East Stirling, right? Rapid winger. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Grado and tow, it's Gregg Wylde.
Lovely.
Gregg Wylde, what is happening?
How you doing, Greg?
Hey! How's it going?
All right, big man, how are you?
Aye, I'm good. I'm just more talking there. Explain your taps, man. They look great. You got a Champions League number in the back.
That was the Man United game at home. The one Pale Affleck broke his finger, remember? He was meant to
That was
start.
fucking Phil Neville scored, of all people.
Aye.
Aye, that was the one.
1-0. Fucking.
That one. Then the other ones are over there. That's the League Cup and the League. And then that's just the team full. And then my debut tap's over there.
What's the Man United player one that you've got there?
Nani.
So how do you go about at the end of the games? Do you kind of arrange it at half time, or do you just run up to him right at the end and go, "Biff, I want you"?
No, you just shake hands and I just say, "Still make can I get your tap?" But I didn't expect him. I didn't know if he wanted mine or not. I didn't know who I was, so I just get your tap.
Is that how the one is? Is that how you the tap's sitting up next to it? Because nobody would take it.
I was going to say, he obviously never wanted your tap. What a cheeky bastard, eh? That nanny.
Fucking prick. I was like, you know what, mate?
One of the lads like, cheers, mate. There you go. There's mine.
I feel embarrassed, mate. Take it.
He's like, nah, you're all right.
Do you know what? You had that underneath his warm-up tap. They actually took his warm-up tap after the game, mate. And I was like, fucking tap.
Was she just like to you? Was you just like, nah, mate, I'm wanting Broadfoots?
How's the fitness, Greg? What's happening? How's lockdown been treating you? Like you've been trying to keep fit?
Aye, mate. Batting the running, wee bit of weights in the back garden. Just keep myself ticking over, mate.
Aye.
Walking the dogs.
Tell us about your favourite memory playing for the Glasgow Rangers. Tell us.
Favourite memory?
What are you laughing at, John?
There's been a
Flip a load of the Cubs, you're straight there.
Aye.
I think one of them has to be at Rugby Park. Has to be 7 minutes.
Oh, listen, that was probably one of my up there in my favourite games that I ever went to. Me and my dad, we were in my first row at Rugby Park, right? And my mate Colin, who I worked with at McDonald's, he went on to be a policeman, and he's a big Celtic fan, and he was the duty where he had to stand in front of the Rangers crowd, and he was right in front of me, man. It was brilliant. 1 goal, 2 goal, 3 goal. I'm giving it that. Brilliant.
My dad was behind the goal at the away end, obviously, and he was at the tap. He said the stand was actually shaking. He said it was actually rocking.
It was brilliant, man. I mean, you just knew that was it done. Lafferty, man. Naismith, and then even the second half, Jelevich scored a free kick or something, didn't he?
Free kick, aye. But Celtic didn't even kick off. We were 3-0 up or something, is it? No, 2-0 up.
Did you play for the start in that game then, Greg, aye?
I played 85. I played 85, come off at 85 minutes, mate.
What was the dressing room like after that game?
mental, mate. Tenants going everywhere. So it was actually, my towel was lying next to my peg, and I actually put the towel up against my suit, because I didn't want my suit to get soaking, because it was drink everywhere, mate, and the place was bouncing, and all that, he had these few words at the end, and
what does he say? What does he say? Because that was his last kind of was his last game.
His last game, mate. Aye. I think
so was that emotional?
It was his last game in the seat, obviously, at Rangers, and he was just a wee bit emotional. And he didn't say too much, because he didn't want to get up so upset. And then he had a few words. We went back to Ibrox for an after party, and then he said a few things there.
Brilliant.
Because I remember his interview after it on the telly, and he was saying, and that's when, as much as me and my mates were in my house, small house, we were all jumping about the living room, but he done an interview and he's saying, this club needs investment. It needs investment. Yeah. And at that point, I still look back in hindsight going, fucking Walter was right, man. He must have knew.
You wonder, I remember, I don't know, you wonder if he knew it was coming, but...
Aye. Because I remember...
I think there was a lot of people that knew it was coming, to be honest with you.
Do you know what I was... Do you know what I was uncomfortable with a wee bit? I remember that, right? And I remember Craig White, it was either at Rugby Park or it was back at Ibrox, and he lifted the cup, and I'm going, no, hold on a minute. You know that way?
Mm-hmm.
He taking a wee turn lifting the cup up, and I was like, see if that was you, right, and you're taking out a cup, you would have the, I don't know, do you know how you would go, no, hold on, this is yours.
You better respect, you're using the players, you're the coaching staff.
Aye, I mean, I'm not into it for that. I mean business. You don't need to give me the trophy to put it. And I just think at that time, no alarm bells were ringing, but I was just like, plus he wasn't wearing a belt, which I just didn't fit. That was a bit freaky. Couldn't wear a suit without a belt. It doesn't look right. Never trust a man. I'm sure he did a brogues on either.
So, Greg, apart from Rangers, right, you've been to lots of teams.
Oh, hold on, wait a minute. Did you have wee run-ins with Craig White? You said there was a bit of creep. Was there a bit of creep?
Did you have run-ins with him?
No, I didn't have run-ins, no, but he knew it was coming when we had the day they'd been at administration. We had a bounce game at Hibs through in Edinburgh for players that have, players that have not been playing much, so I wanted to play instead of training, so I went through. And then after we had a meeting before we left Murray Park, we said something like next week was going to get an administration, but we were playing this game at Hibs through Trinent in Edinburgh, and Hibs put lunch on for us for after it, and we seen it in Sky Sports News, Rangers administration, but he never told us before we left, so he never told us on the day, but he said it was going to be next week, but he knew it was going to be that day. Wow, and Gregg and had a few words with him. Oh,
really?
Wow. Oh, mate, it was hostile. It was a bit scary, mate. I was like, oh, man.
Was it just a matter of you knew this was coming, you never spoke up? Where is this came from? Was it just...
He knew it was coming, but he put it onto the following week. But we knew it came on the day he mentioned it. So why didn't you just come out with face to face and tell us the truth and say, oh, it's going to come out in the paper, it's going to come out in the news today, so be prepared for it.
Right.
And we found out after the game.
That is, and he came to the game to tell you that then, aye?
No, he came. We met at Murray Park.
Right.
Before we left to go to Hibs, and he came in, had a meeting in the first team changing room, and told us it. And then we went on the bus, went to Hibs, played the game. I think it came out when we were playing during the game. So
aye.
Then after it, we seen it in the Sky Sports News. It came out. So I was like, wow. The whole bus come back, mate. Silence. Nothing. You couldn't really say much.
Oh man.
Crazy, man.
Yeah, it's just. But partial. They're back in the Premier League now, and hopefully we can stop 10 in a row this year. You know what I mean?
No chance, my man. No chance.
Fingers crossed, Greg. Fingers crossed, mate. Fingers crossed. Oh, so obviously, all sorts of you played for a lot of teams, Greg. Right? Apart from obviously Rangers, right? What team did you have happy memories of playing with?
Down at Plymouth with Derek Adams. My first year, I played 48 games. Then that year, we got to Wembley. We played Portsmouth in the playoffs, first leg and the second leg, and then we beat them in the second leg 1-0 last minute. He did with Peter Hartley. He was at Motherwell.
Aye.
He scored the last minute, so he got us into the final against Wimbledon. And then we got to Wembley. I think it was about 75,000 there, 80,000. But during that season, we beat Wimbledon throughout the cups, the leagues. And then it came to the final, they beat us. So if you turn back the clock, you'd rather beat them in the final and then get beaten in the rest. You'd rather win in the final and get beaten in the rest. And big Akinfenwa, come on, he scored, didn't he? He scored the second.
He's a big boy.
Akinfenwa and then Lyle Taylor scored the first one.
Mate, he's some size, man. I seen him on Sky Sports News the other night.
Remember his interview after that game? They were saying, you're getting a new contract. He's like, no, he's releasing me, man.
That was after the Wimbledon game, the game we played. He said, because I'm unemployed now. Because his contract comes on 31st of May, 31st of June or something like that.
Did you see him the other day after the game and Jurgen Klopp had sent a video to him?
Aye, because he said that. He says if you get Jurgen Klopp to phone him or FaceTime him.
Aye.
He kept saying, can you remind me what we just did? What we I was like, you just get promoted. You don't need to keep saying it, man. But I wouldn't say it to his face.
No chance.
I mean, that's it felt as if when you were doing in Plymouth, you were kind of settled down there. Definitely, I followed you on Twitter for that all that time. I've always kind of kept up with you, and it did look as if you'd made a kind of new life down there.
I was really surprised. I mean, they came in at first. I looked at the map and how far it was. It was miles away, mate. It was like you're nearly in France. To be quite honest, you're closer to France here than England.
I wrestled in that Plymouth Town Hall, man. It's all that broad.
I know,
you're not from around these ports, are you? You're not from around these ports.
Mate, they're back in time with clothes and all. It's like, mate, what are you wearing, man? It's like,
with the V haircuts and the bootleg jeans.
Aye, like flary jeans. Aye.
V haircut, man.
Back and side kick.
Stevie Thompson, 2004 number.
But no, I enjoyed it, mate. Enjoyed it. Loved it down there my first year. Like I said, played 48 games and then I left. I went to Millwall. I was there for a year and a half and then I went back to Plymouth.
What was Millwall like, Greg?
Good. Aye, just mental traffic to get to games though.
They've got such a passionate support as well, haven't they, Millwall?
They have, aye. They've got a bad reputation for racism, haven't they?
Hey,
they're crazy.
Let's no stereotype folk. You've just been watching too much of that ID and all that shite too. Know what I mean?
No, sorry, man. I've been on a bit of a football hooligan kick, and Millwall fans always seem to be the baddies in
it. I can remember we played Charlton one day. It was a Friday night actually, and the Charlton fans tried to get to the Millwall fans. Obviously, they separated stands, but they're climbing the seats to get to them. And you couldn't stop them, mate. Then you had to stop the game. But then it started getting out of hand with the racism, abuse to the players and that. It was, I've never seen anything like it, mate. It was crazy.
But see how, Greg, when you're doing the airplane football, right, do you know, like, I'm not saying there's less pressure, right, but you've not got that kind of, what does it call it, the Goldfish Bowl of Glasgow, right?
Yeah, of course.
There's that, so did you prefer that being down there and playing football?
You do, you feel a wee bit relaxed. I was so relaxed, mate, at Plymouth, it was unreal. You know, it was like, every player who I was with down there, you know, we were all from north, like Newcastle or whatever, and we were all used to go like nights out together. We used to have like a Nando's together, so we didn't live at our own because you feel so depressed if that was the case.
Aye.
But no, at Millwall it was good. But I used to go home a lot after games. We played Bradford one, and at home, and I jumped in a taxi to me to Gatwick and flew up the road, mate, and back doing the Monday morning. So it was quite close to the airport. No, I'm a homeboy, mate, so I like to be home a lot.
Well, you're up here just now. When did you come back up the road? Was it the turn of the year?
Last year I came back up the road, mate. So
I
came back up last January.
Right. So what is your plans then? If you get any more goals in football, you want to take up coaching? I mean, what age are you? You're only 29 or something like that, was it?
I'm 29.
Still a pup, mate. Still a pup.
I know. Me and my dad were talking about it the other day. Actually, we were at a walk, and people don't realise that I'm still a young man. But you know, I've done a lot in my career that I can be proud of, mate. I know a lot of people, you know, can take that away from me. And what I've done in the careers for my family and that, been Rangers mad as well. So, you know, winning the League Cup, playing at Hampden, playing at Ibrox Park, Ked, Wembley.
Love the dream, mate. Love the dream.
I've done what I have to do, and now I've got to look at it in a bigger picture. Is what I do now. You know, playing me Stirling, I like to do well for the club, getting back into the Football League, but I'm wanting to do something away from football now. I need to enjoy my life and feel relaxed a wee bit now. That now I can go like do something during the week, and now I've got a game in the Saturday where I can go enjoy myself again.
Never thought about taking up wrestling?
Fucking wrestle Grado.
You can get him. He's wrestling Mixu Paatelainen soon. Right, so
I would love to see this.
No, Mixu's wrestling Walter, so Greg and Grado could be undercard for Walter and Mixu.
That sounds good, man.
I'll wrestle anybody, man. I don't care.
Right, listen. don't try this at home, Greg. Right, I get this all the time. It's not as easy as it looks. It's not as easy as it looks. Do you know what I remember? I remember reading an article about you meeting Gaza before a game once.
I've got a picture on my phone actually.
Aye, how was it? I mean, he was my hero as a boy.
Mate, yeah, he was how good a player he is. Remember that goal he scored for England? He was still playing for Rangers at the time against Scotland.
Aye.
Had the goalie on last week talking about that.
Aye.
What's happened to him, mate? It's incredible. But he's one of the best players in it. This one here.
What do you say? It's a belter. Was that in the dressing room? So did he? What did see when that happens? Right when Gaza comes into the dressing room, is he just shaking hands, or did he keep up? Or?
He was quite pally with Jimmy Bell, the kit man. So he was talking to me, and he came through. We actually played Hibs at home that game, and he came through and just shook everybody's hands, and he sat down with David Weir underneath the Queen. See, you've got a picture in the changing room. So he sat with David Weir, and he just sat there till. I think he sat there until Walter done a bit of the team talk. And then I think he realised he had to leave. So, but Walter kept him in the changing room for a long period of time before we went out. Warm up, team talk, and then walking out to the game.
Brilliant, man.
That's cool. Did we win that day?
Aye, 5-0.
Are you pals with anybody at Rangers and who, Greg? You still pals?
I'm still pal with Stephen Davis, but I talked to Ryan Jack a lot. So my missus knows his missus, and that's just through friends. But he wasn't happy all day. I texted him because you watch a game against the
tackle against the tackle.
I
mean, that's a red.
I said, so whatever the guy's name is, I saw it was 1-0 to him. He said that will be fucking right. He says, but no, I still speak to a few, mate. A few of the boys. I usually got to Murray Park, sit with the security guard, have a coffee with them now and again. So
brilliant, man. Right, Greg, cheers, mate. You have been an absolute gentleman coming on, giving up your time and coming on. I appreciate it, mate.
Thanks very
guys.
Much,
take care, boys.
All the best for the Shire, mate. All the best.
Safe. All the best, pal. Cheers, pal.
Well, there you go, boys. Gregg Wylde, Legends Lottery. Good wee chat there. A good wee chat. Grado, it's on to you next week, innit, my man?
Oh, no.
Is it?
It's on to Grado and John next week, Stevie.
Sorry. No, it's on to John next week, innit? It's on to John.
John, phone up Falkirk and get fucking Alec Totten or something like that.
Oh, get that Stainrod boy on.
Simon Stain.
We're going to come back home with Jerry Pelini again, ain't you?
That would be funny.
Hey, Troops, do you like my top? Do you like it?
I'm loving that. That is a belt. What we talking here? Milan 89?
AC Milan 86.
Is that right?
86, 87.
Did you say 86, 87, too?
I think it's a Kappa one, mate.
Did Haitley wear that?
Aye, in the reserves.
That was quite good. Mate, you're on fire, man.
I know, mate.
Sharp. Like it, but it's good. So, boys, this is for free retro, right? I've got, you know yourself. Where's yours, Grado?
Oh,
you the Man City.
I'll show you my Man City tap. Why you're telling him I'm going to get my Man City?
Yes, that was Scotland one. I've got it. Hold on.
So, if you're into your retro football tops, you need to know about 3retro.com. They have a huge range of officially licensed retro football shirts and jackets for club and country from the 50s all the way through to the 90s. You can get Rangers, Celtic, Scotland, as well as loads of English, Italian, German and Spanish teams. They've got some belters, including the Scotland 3 Retro offer worldwide delivery. And in the UK, it's free on orders over 50 quid. And you can get tops starting at £25. So they're great value. There's Grado's City one there. Lovely. So if you want to get involved, we have the links up on our social media channels at Football Daft Pod on Twitter and just Football Daft on Facebook. You can get them at 3, that's the number 3, retroalloneword.com. But please show your support for the podcast by ordering through the link you will find on our socials. So troops, get kitted out for the new season at 3retro.com.
Football Daft's big question.
With the season fast approaching, it's all about the transfer rumours and talk whenever you look at the papers or go on to your club's forums these days. Whether that's Robert Snodgrass being spotted at a chippy near Parkhead, Lyndon Dykes buying a flat in Aberdeen, or Jardel finally signing for Rangers. We love a bit of gossip. So we wanted to know this week, what is the most outrageous transfer rumour you've ever heard? Right, there's a good few of them, isn't there?
Oh, there's plenty, man. There's loads. I love things like this. You know,
remember the night, the last day of the transfer window, Jim White's got his yellow tie and that on. Robin Van Persie's meant to come to Rangers, remember?
Robin Van Persie was spotted at the Goose in Union Street, smoking a fag and all that.
He was signing right up till 12 o'clock, and then right at the end, he didn't sign, and we signed Joey Garner.
Aye, man. Did we get number 1 single out it or something, did we know?
We've got Joey Garner. Oh, mate, it was brutal, man.
Remember a couple of years ago, Zlatan was coming to Parkhead.
That happens. That comes up all the time, doesn't it?
Remember he had been bet down into favourite. Celtic had been bet down into the favourites to sign him. I'll tell you what, I've never been as fucking excited in my bastard life as I was at that point.
Hey, that was the same with Van Persie. You could get him at it was fucking 2-1 or something.
I remember.
When I was younger, what I always remember, 2-1s, we got Alan Smith all the time. Remember that? There was Alan Smith.
Smudger.
Smotty the Ibrox, you know what I mean? You know, that shit. Do we not always kind of link with Robbie Fowler and end up and all? I always seem to remember that.
The other one, it's like the one that we were always linked with for years was Georgie Kincladze. Every summer, man.
What that was it?
I know, that's box office names, man. You don't get players like that coming to Scotland anymore.
No chance, man. But there is, I mean, Rangers, Ronaldo, R9.
Well, sure. Did David Murray done it? Was it David Murray that done an interview a couple of months ago, or was it a year ago or something? He was saying, look, this deal was on. He was only going to play in the European games. He didn't need to play Saturday in the SFL, whatever you cried it back then. And
I'll tell you what, see if they'd have fell behind in the league, big Ronaldo would have soon been fucking stripping up on Saturday.
He'd have been stripped off, man.
Imagine having Ronaldo sitting in the stand.
Aye, and Billy Dodds is on the bench. Billy Dodds on the bench, man. I mean,
but Billy Dodds is coming on with 20 minutes to go, and you've got Ronaldo sitting in the crowd, man. That's reunion bells.
He's blue nose pie.
He's bully soup.
He's bully soup.
No, there's been some whoppers, man.
There's been plenty, man.
Remember when J.M. Wilson actually has come in with one of the listeners has come in with one, and that's what popped into my head there. I've just seen it in the lineup there. Steve Archibald, when he took over Airdrie, remember he was going to sign Hristo Stoichkov.
I'm a Hristo Stoichkov going to Airdrie, man.
I know. Getting back to the rumours, lads, which some of the other ones?
Says Umar Sadiq to Man United.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But
that's still on. I've heard he's replacing big Odion Agallo for next season.
They've just signed Agallo in? Oh, there's a rumour mill. Stu Bro says Dwight York to Falkirk was always a good one. Did you always hear that, producer John?
It was always because Latipi was there, and Latipi's obviously his best pal. There was always questions about potentially Dwight York, and Dwight York was obviously spotted around Falkirk because he was up seeing Latipi, you know.
So did you and your mates stand there with your scarves on, your pie and your ball? I mean, up forward, he's a fucking hardy. We need to get Dwight York up here, by the way.
Always spotted at Benny T's in Falkirk, the chip shop in Falkirk.
Benny T's, man.
Scottish Bateman's there.
Imagine that, but Jordan in the stand at fucking Brockville.
Aaron Lyne says, I remember when Ivan Persie to Rangers was a done deal. Well, we just spoke about that. Maradona Jr. to Clyde.
I remember that.
Who was that? Was that Bomber got to try and get him or what?
I remember that. It wasn't actually. I remember it being Dundee. To be honest with you, I don't remember it being Clyde. I might be getting mixed up, but I remember he was photographed and all that, and he was wearing a T-shirt and it had some slogan in Spanish, but it was like a highly offensive slogan. And that was part of the reason why he wasn't signed by the club and all that. It was fucking bonkers, man.
We'll get Sideshow Bob saying Riyad Mahrez to St Mirren. He was on trial there and fled the club on a borrowed bike.
That's another true story. That's a true story. He was on trial. Riyad Mahrez was on trial at St Mirren, and it was that cold. He hated the cold that much. He took a bike and he just cycled and fucked off and never come back.
Well, where did he cycle? Right down to Leicester or something? Just shatty cell went, get me out of here, man.
Get me out of here. Get me to Sunny Air Climbs. I fancy Leicester.
Jack McLean says, must have been about 2004. Went to my mate's house for lunch at school, checked the teletext and had no news on any transfer updates. We went back to school and he was telling everyone Maxi Lopez from Barca was going to Rangers on loan. We'll never forget it. Maxi Lopez, he's a good player. Argentine, wasn't he?
Aye.
He was a good player, man.
Maxi Lopez, aye. Sam Cosgrove to Lazio has been sent in for Cameron.
Josh Joyce, I'm assuming, is he meaning Samaras here? He's wrote Samaras to Barcelona.
Aye.
Right.
Aye. He'd have never took the step down.
No. Bert Clemerson saying he's still waiting on Jardel being announced.
That was crazy, that, wasn't it? He was in the training tap. He was there with his wife.
I know.
Mrs. Jardel, whoa.
But then
remember his wife?
Mrs. Jardel, what a belter.
But then he went to Galatasaray and fucking scored against us, remember? We played
I do remember.
Graham Kelty says Tommy Wright to Rangers. I wonder where that rumour was started. Tommy Wright.
Listen, that's not fucking... That could still happen.
And then we've got Mark Blythe saying Football Daft getting a Saturday afternoon slot for live broadcasting on Scottish football on BBC Scotland.
I tell you what, bring it on.
Aye, well, me and Grado, you know what I mean? The old BBC, I mean, we'll
keep it down, man. Keep that down, Bob.
As a player, this man was a cult hero of Scottish football, banging in goals for the likes of Dundee United, Aberdeen, Hibs and St Johnstone. As a manager, he also took charge of the Arabs as well as Hibs, Kilmarnock, and has also taken charge of Finland, Latvia and Hong Kong, where he joins us from now. It is Mixu Paatelainen. What a exciting. There we go.
Pleased to join you guys.
Mixu, how have you managed to look 20 years younger than you did when you were playing football?
Because I left Scotland.
Oh, we're in for a good one.
You can tell it's not just Mixu Paatelainen, it's Mixu Paatelainen.
It's Mixu Snortelainen.
Here we go. Here we go.
Do you feel like you're back?
I put my helmet on and gum shields on. Don't worry.
There we go. Mixu, it's brilliant. Thanks very much for coming on the show.
My pleasure.
As obviously, you're a huge name in Scottish football, and not just Scottish football, English football, and around the world as well.
Finnish football.
Finnish football. Grado, did you not learn a wee bit of Finnish for Mixu?
Right. So I'd just like to say to Mixu, I'd just like to say, Hiva Itapaiva, Mixu.
Hiva Itapaiva.
Yeah, si. Hold on. Rakastan Antiniemi.
Tykkään Antiniemestä paljon. Kyllä.
Yeah, si.
No, that's so funny.
Very good.
Good, mate.
Very much.
Hey.
That's great. Good start. Good
Those
start.
sentences you go far in Finland. Hey, that's all you need to know. Anti's a legend over there, so you'll go far with that.
Now, Stephen was saying there that you're living in Hong Kong at the moment. Is there not been a wee bit of bother over there?
To be honest, there's been nothing but bother since I came here last year in early April. In June, the riot started, obviously because of this new law that China wanted to implement, and now they've done it. A lot of protests on the streets, a lot of unrest, but now obviously the pandemic, the worldwide problem.
Here, Mixu, did you ever, like, at the start of this pandemic, did you ever consider, right, this might all kick off, I'm going to go back to Finland? Or did you feel safer in Hong Kong right from the start?
To be honest, I would have come to Scotland. You know, funny enough. Yeah, I've been too long in Scotland. But of course, I would have gone to Finland as well, see the relatives and all that. But
so you consider
yes,
Scotland
I did.
home?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So
you obviously forget how.
Obviously, I lived in UK. I lived in UK, Scotland mainly over 30 years. So it feels like home.
Yeah. But Mixu, you're a legend of the Scottish game. Like you're talking about, you classify Scotland as home, and you're a legend of the Scottish game. But how did you come about coming to Scotland? How did that all happen?
Well, my father had some business contact and connection there in Scotland, and he was on a business trip in Scotland. After the business talks, surprise, surprise, they started talking about football, and my father used to play as well. And then he mentioned that his son played in Finland in the Finnish Premier League and for the Olympic team at the time. And the counterpart he was talking to happened to be one of the Dundee United directors. So he suggested that why doesn't your son come over for a month and see because in Finland those days it was all part-time football. So why does he not come over and experience professional football for a month? So my father was delighted with that opportunity, and it materialized. I came across, and it was a fantastic opportunity for me because that season Dundee United were in the UEFA Cup final. I used to watch Dundee United, these orange shirts doing well in Europe and going to the final. To get a chance to come and train with the squad was a fantastic opportunity. I was really looking forward to it. I was fortunate. After a week, Jim McLean offered me a contract, and here we go. You know, I'm on that road still. It was amazing. It was amazing. But what actually helped my case was I had broken one of my bones on my wrist, and I had a big stookie on my wrist, on my arm. So needless to say, you might remember my playing style. You know, I put that in good use, and Jim McLean liked it, so he gave me a contract. So it was I was a little bit assisted with that.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Tell us about Jim McLean. What was your first impressions? And did you have a wee Jim McLean story?
Jim McLean, what a legend! Absolutely. I must say that at the time when we all played for him, we all hated him because of his management antics. He was so hard. He was so hard, man, to please, so hard, and he let us know with no uncertainty. And then there was no honeymoon. I came from Finland, a nicey Scandinavian boy coming to Scotland, brilliant. We got beat. I think it was my second or third game. We got beat Dens Park against Dundee, and you know, Dens Park, small dressing room, really tight. And Jim McLean used to go through every player. You know, you bleep, you bleep, you bleep. You know, and then he comes to me. I had been in Scotland about 2-3 weeks. My English was okay actually those times, but English, so Scottish, and raging. Jim McLean coming to me, shouting with the foam coming from his mouth, and what I only understood 3 words: effing, finish, bastard. Right? Those were the 3 words. Those were the 3 words I understood. So, as a player, as a good obeying player, what do? You look at the manager in the eyes, and you say to him, "Yes, boss. Yes, boss. Yes, boss." Of course, absolutely. And then, every time I said yes, boss, the shout got even louder. He went even more mental. And I was like, oh no. How do I get, I'm nice to him. And he's shouting even more to me. And I didn't understand what he said. Only those 3 words. Then eventually he went like that. Oh, he must have said something like useless C or whatever. And then the boys in the shower came to me. Mixu, did you understand a word what the manager was saying to you? I said, no, only those 3 words. He said to you, you must have been in a boozer last night. You played so badly. Yes, boss. He thought I was winding him up. Funnily enough, in school in Finland, names boozer didn't come to our vocabulary.
No.
I didn't have a clue what he was saying.
Yes, boss. Yes, boss.
That's superb, man.
Yeah, so that was an introduction. That was an introduction to Scottish language and Scottish football for me.
Well,
but I tell you what. Sorry, carry on. But I must emphasize how fantastic manager, how fantastic coach Jim McLean was on the training ground. Genius, ahead of his time with the sports science and stuff like that, and brilliant. Another story. Have you got time to listen to me?
Oh yes,
of
course. Yes.
He was ahead of his time with sports science, right? He started. He understood the importance of getting carbohydrates into your body, right? And so we started having bread and fruit, bananas, in the dressing room instead of that cup of tea. And then he comes to, after one game we lost 10 days. I remember he was raging. He comes to the dressing room and slaughtered us. And he said to us, Sauzee, you eat bananas before the game and halftime, and you play like effing monkeys. He had a sense of humor.
Aye.
He had a sense of humor, but he was so dry. Unbelievable. And of course you had to laugh.
Aye.
You moved on for Dundee United. You went to Aberdeen. So how did that come about? And when you went to Aberdeen, was it a big culture change moving from Dundee to Aberdeen?
I can't say it was a culture shock, but different. No. It was. I was almost 5 years at Tannadice. A great time. I felt it was time to move. And one day, Jim McLean phoned me and he said that he's been talking to Aberdeen. They've been on the phone. They've agreed a fee for me. My contract was up anyway. Come summertime. That was about January, February time. And he said they've agreed a fee. So if you want to speak to them, go ahead. So then I went up and spoke to them and joined them. Aberdeen, fantastic club, brilliant club, big club. Looks so well after players. Everything is in place. Really professional, really good. I'm not saying Dundee United went; they were as well. It was a good move. Aberdeen's a lovely place. On that sunny day, the granite buildings are beautiful. Two of my first children were born there, Aberdeen, so it's a special place from that as well. I enjoyed my 2.5 years there.
What was it, Mixu? Was it at Aberdeen where the fans sang Mixu Paatelainen, what a fucking signing? Was that the Aberdeen fans that sang that?
That was the one. Yeah, they invented that. Yeah, they did. We had a fantastic team. And my first full season, we were second in every competition. The Rangers won the treble, and we were second in all competitions. 2 cup finals, second in the league, and all that. I played majority of the time on the left wing. They wanted to make good use of my blistering pace. But no, it was great. It was great. I really enjoyed my time at Aberdeen. It was fantastic. Pittodrie, always a great atmosphere, and we had a good team. Willie Miller was a manager. Willie was a good manager, no question. So really enjoyed it.
And then, it would have been worth it just to go there for that song. even if it was a terrible time, it would have been worth it just for the song.
Did you not come there? Were you not there?
Your time at Aberdeen, was there any similarities, like with Willie Miller, the manager, and Jim McLean? Did Willie Miller, was he the type to maybe go off his nut in the dressing room as well?
Willie was obviously he kept the discipline, no question, and he was, firm, but nowhere near the level of Jim McLean.
No,
nowhere near. But no, Jim. Willie was a good manager, very good, and I enjoyed playing for him. And he was relatively calm. Of course, as all managers, some point we lose it, for reason or another. And Willie was no different in that. But it was good. It was really good. He put a good team together, and we played sometimes quite direct tactics. I played left wing when I right full back. Stuart McKimmie got the ball. All I can hear is Willie shouting, "Hit Mixu!" That diagonal ball. I came inside from the left wing and jumped for the header, and Big Duncan Shearer and Ian Chess and Paul Mason and Co. Scott Booth, they ran the end of it.
What a team that was.
That was a good eye.
What a good team. Household names in Scottish football there, man. Just rolling off your tongue. Eh?
Theo Snelders and all.
Exactly. Big Theo in goals. Absolutely. It was fantastic. Aye. Tremendous.
Yeah. Mixu, so you moved to Bolton, and I've got to say you're a bit of a cult hero down there. Obviously, you must have seen that episode of Phoenix Nights. The first thing you get as a result when you type your name into YouTube is that clip. Mixu Paatelainen. I love that. I love that. Have you seen it?
I wonder why. No, it was great. Fantastic opportunity for me to go to England and play there. Obviously, we were not in the Premier League at the time. We were in the first division those days. Now there's Championship, and we had a fantastic. The first season was tremendous. We got promotion through playoff final. We beat Reading 4-3. Got promoted to the Premier League, and the same first season we were in the League Cup final against Liverpool. So twice at Wembley, unbelievable, fantastic. Unfortunately, we lost the League Cup final 2-1 to Liverpool. Stephen McManaman scored 2 goals. Alan Thompson scored for us. But it was great chance for me to go down south and get promotion and then play in the Premier League and great.
Is that Bolton side one of the best sides you've ever played with, Mixu?
It's difficult to compare. It's very difficult. We had a good team. Alan Stubbs, Jason McAteer, John McKinley played up front with me. What a character.
Remember John McKinley? John McKinley was a great striker, wasn't he, man?
He was.
Great guy, and proper goal scorer.
Mm-hmm.
He knew where the goal was.
Should have played really, a lot more for Scotland.
Yeah, Scotland had good strikers at the time, but I'm sure that if John played more for Scotland, he would have scored quite a few goals for Scotland, because he knew where the goal was. Wherever he's played, he had a long career at Bolton, and they scored loads of goals for him.
No, Mixu, you played with a cracking squad at Bolton, but the side that when you signed for Hibs up there at that time with Latipi, Kenny Miller, John
Franck Sauzee.
Oh, I mean, tell us about your playing in that Hibs team.
It was probably the best, most enjoyable time on and off the pitch. I won't go too much off the pitch stuff, but on the pitch, brilliant. I remember Franck Sauzee. He was obviously France captain, won the Champions League or then the European Cup with Marseille. Legend, absolute legend, and a brilliant person, wonderful person, but he was the worst trainer I've ever played with.
Really?
During the week. Oh, it was agony to play with him in the five-a-sides, in the end of the training session. I went to him one day in training. I lost it. I went to say, Frankie, come on, do a little bit of running. Just stood still, in a halfway line. Didn't do anything. So we played 4 players. I was like, Frankie, come on, because I wanted to win. I wanted to fight, and win and blah, blah, blah. And even five-a-sides, whenever. And then Frankie said nothing. He just looked at me, said nothing. Then we got back to the dressing room, and came to me in the showers, and it always happens in the showers. I wonder why. He came to me in the showers, and he said that, Mixu, I am very sorry, Mixu. Saturday is when I play. I don't play during Saturday. I said, fair enough. If you produce on Saturday, no worries.
Oh man, that was a great side, and that side's one of the Hibs sides that's responsible for the biggest downs that Hearts have had. And you scored the hat trick that day, Mixu. What's your memories of that game?
Oh, it was a wonderful night. We didn't start the match particularly well. Hearts took a lead when 1-0 ahead, and then very fortunately, I managed to score 2 pretty scrappy goals. I think one was a side free kick and one was a corner kick. Loose ball in the box, and I managed to put my big toe on it and scored 2 goals. So we were 2-1 up half time. But first half wasn't plain sailing at all. Mm-hmm. Second half was. Second half we totally destroyed them. We had we wrestled in the midfield, Rancho. David Zitelli with me up front, and runner, great technique, really clever player. I don't know if you remember John O'Neill, midfielder, fantastic engine, Ulrik Laursen, and so forth. So, we had a strong team and strong characters in the dressing room, and second half we showed it. We just ran riot, obviously 6-2, big numbers and all that, and it was a great night.
I remember 6-2 downs and derbies. Do you, Grado? It's not good.
I've
no good, mate. It's not good.
I love a 6-2. I'll be honest with you. I love a 6-2 Mixu. Right, so you seemed unlucky when it comes to cup finals. You've lost one with Dundee United, 2 with Aberdeen, 1 with Bolton, and 1 with Hibs as well. As a manager,
thanks very much for mentioning.
One accolade.
Sorry, listen, I apologise. You can blame the producer.
I used to
for
like
that question. Come on, Mixu, don't do this to me, brother.
Mixu, that's producer Don's fault. Producer Don.
Excuse me. Get your facts right. I won the Finnish Cup.
So you did, that's right.
That's right, okay.
The legendary Finnish Cup.
That what
Everybody
game.
wants to win that.
Do you know something?
Everybody wants to win that.
See, looking at the notes here, we all take shots, ask you questions. I'm like that. When I seen that note about the cup finals, I'm like, I'm not fucking saying that to Mixu. No chance. No chance. young Tory are writing about it.
Right. Do you know what? I'll be honest with you, Mixu. I'd started reading the question before I realised what it was, and I was like, oh no, I need to keep going here. Oh, I'm
you're right. It's been pretty tough in that respect. You know, to go all the way to the final, wonderful occasion. You won the winner's medal, but you know, it's been unfortunate that the opponent so many times have been better. You know, the big final we won was a playoff final with Bolton to get to the English Premier League. That was fantastic. Mm-hmm. But the cup finals itself, you know, they've been very tough. But you know, that's the way it goes.
Sorry about Toll asking that question, Mixu.
I'm sorry. I apologise, Mixu. I apologise.
Listen.
I feel that I've ruined this whole occasion. I'm going to be honest with you.
The whole mood's somber now, man.
I know.
You should see my CV. Runners up.
So, Mixu, as a manager in your own right, who did you draw from? Did you take a bit of Jim McLean into your style of management, a bit of Willie Miller?
Everybody.
Aye.
I've been fortunate. I had good managers. I picked something from each and every one of them. Ike McLeish at Hibs. Mm-hmm. For me, the best man manager I've had in my career. Yeah, fantastic man manager. Brilliant. Clever man. Knows how to handle players. Really, you know, fantastic person. I played in France with Strasbourg. I had Ivan Hasek, the Czech coach there. The way we trained was unbelievable. Brilliant. Really good. The way he gave us feedback after matches was something special. Individual, very good. Learned a lot from him. And everybody else, Bruce Rioch with Bolton. And so many others. You know, I've been blessed with that. To play under so many good managers and big things. But I can't say that there's this one manager that I'm following. I've learned the most. You learn something from each and every one of them.
Brilliant.
Yeah, Mixu, speaking of other managers, I know I might be jumping the gun here, right? But I need to ask you, right? Rangers and Hibs on the touchline with Walter Smith. What was that about? You were nearly in fisticuffs. You don't remember it? You're having me on.
I don't remember it. You have to get Walter Smith on the show and ask him.
Is that a no comment? No comment.
No, the thing is, Grado, he could only understand 3 words that Walter said.
I would honestly, I think if you do come back to Scotland, Grado obviously has got lots of contacts when it comes to rings and stuff. I think a charity wrestling bout, Mixu Paatelainen, the Finnish fighter against the solid Scotsman would be magic. Would you think, Grado?
I can set up. I'll special guest referee.
Aye.
I'll manage you, Mixu.
I'll just sit and get a bag of popcorn.
I can't wait to see us in those tricos.
What's that?
Hey, those wrestling tricos. I can't wait to see us.
Chuckles, what? Hey, come on, were you going to smash him? Was he going to smash you?
What happened? Come on, give us a story.
This is a tough one for a minute. This is a
I've got so much respect to Walter Smith. Fantastic coach, fantastic person, all that. But of course, during the match, anything can happen. Even to somebody, a gentleman like Walter Smith. And nice, most innocent guy from Scandinavia, Mixu Paatelainen. So what happened there was our player was tackled right close to the sideline, and it was a late and dirty tackle. I jumped off my bench, went right to the edge of my technical area, and I shouted to my player, "Don't react! He's off! Don't react!" Right? That's what happened. Ibrox, you know, there's the noise. Couldn't hear a thing. And then I turned to go back to my seat, and Walter was there in my technical area. He was there, and I said to him that, you know, get off.
That's what you said. Get off.
Could you please? Could you please exit my technical area? I said, could you please exit my technical area? No, he was really heated. So, beat it. And then Walter was sent to the stand. I wasn't. I'm happy to say. After the game, obviously, you know, the tradition is that visiting manager goes to the host manager's office for a cup of tea or glass of wine or whatever. Yeah. And we talk about match, we talk about, you know, whatever. And the next opponents and all that. So I'm shitting myself. Right? Walter Smith, and I'm a novice. I'm young coach, young manager, and said to my assistant, like, right guys, let's go, you first. And then we got to the door. We got to the manager's door, and I just opened it, just that much, you know, just a little bit, and you know, peeked in. And he noticed me. He noticed me, you know, just peeking. And he says, "Big man, come in." He came to me, hugged me. "Big man, how can I apologize enough?" And you know, brilliant. And I said, "How can I apologize enough? What I told you?" And all that. And then we just laughed it off, and brilliant. I always used, and also on that occasion, obviously, his experience, fantastic. What a coach, what a manager.
Aye.
You know, asking questions, asking about things. You know, something that, you know, I faced challenges. You know, how he would handle them and all that, and use the opportunities. So I have utmost respect towards him. What a man.
It's brilliant, man. Brilliant. There we go. We've got it out there. Exclusive, Grado. Good question, mate. There we go.
For it. He's obviously, if you're shouting, he's off. Walter's obviously interpreted that as, he, you know, get him after the referee, innit?
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Aye.
He thought I was asking referee to send, I think it's not Chernobyl, to send him off.
Aye.
Yeah. And I think that, you know, he thought I was doing that. But no.
Aye.
So
That's
see
good. He's not to
if it had have came to fist,
I wouldn't
if
do
it had
that.
came to a fight, do you think you'd have beat him, Mixu?
Don't know. He's more experienced than me. He was.
I remember there was one time, Mixu, when you just tore into Dundee United side, basically saying they were rubbish and it was a point in training and stuff. Do you think in the modern game now, managers they're kind of scared to speak their mind in the modern game this day and age?
There's a bit of that. But yeah, it was one of my many bad moments. Celtic Park, and I'm as a manager, as a coach, I'm very tactical, because for me, football is a tactical game. Of course, you have to be fit and you have to fight, and that's the first thing. But it is how you move opponent players and how you create openings, how you create overloads, creates you that opportunity to score, and all that. So it is frustrating when you are working every day during the week, blah blah blah, and showing videos and working, and that, giving that message to the players, and then sometimes it just doesn't. Or as it was at Celtic Park that night, Celtic just run all over us, and I was I was really frustrated after the game, and it just flipped. But I was fuming. I must admit. Still, at that point, I had a long chat with the players first, and told them exactly how I felt. But it was very early doors. My reign at Tannadice, and it was I think there's nothing wrong with that. Being frank, being honest. And saying exactly how you feel.
I agree.
Of course, there's no rule for swearing.
Got to be cruel to be
kind. Sometimes because I'm a foreigner, I don't know which ones are the swear words, because you Scottish people use them all the time. So,
would you say that was one of the most mental you've went in the dressing room after that game?
One of them.
Aye.
It's again, it's difficult to compare, but sometimes you do that. But don't get me wrong. My style is not. Yes, I'm a very passionate, and as a player, I was very aggressive and all that. And people think, oh, big Mixu is a raging bull. That's not my style as a manager. My style as a manager is give the player a message, what he's done wrong or right. And if you're raving and ranting, that message doesn't come out. You just accusing and blah blah blah, and it's not right. I think you have to stay composed to deliver that message to the player. Yeah. And also I don't think it is 90% of the time. It's not the right time to give the player feedback how he's done straight after the game, because of the emotions, because of the passion, because of the heat of the moment. It is much better to calm down, go home, watch the match again in the evening after the match. That's how sad I am. And watch the match, know exactly what's going on, and then once you've seen it and analyzed it, you deliver that feedback to the players, and that's calm, that's constructive, and then the message is loud and clear.
Is there any players you've signed where, now you're talking about all these kind of like messages getting across, tactics, is there any players you've signed over the years where you go, they just don't, they're not listening, they don't take on board, like one of the worst players you've signed or whatever? Is there any players that just frustrate the life out of you?
There are. I'm not naming names.
Can you name any?
I'm not naming names. I know what's coming. Yes, there are.
Aye.
I think it was Gordon Strachan who said, if you have to tell a player more than twice, get rid of him.
Really? Aye.
I suppose.
So there's no time. It's you players need to listen. Players have that responsibility also. But I get it. Not every player has the concentration span, and they can't concentrate. They can't take information on board. Especially some players who've never had that before. there's loads of players who come from different teams, and they've not had a manager who really gives you information for how you should play your position. So some players are not used to it, and they can't take that information on board. You have to then really go through individually, one-to-one session with the player with the video evidence. Look at you here. Look at you here. This is what you want. Blah blah blah, and you get the message across eventually, and that player improves. It is our job as coaches to make sure that the message gets across, one way or the other. If it doesn't come across as you're talking to them, or first or second time, then you need to really spend time with that player and make sure that you find measures how to get the message across.
Stressful, man. I could be stressful. Sounds stressful.
Yeah. But coaching is teaching a lot.
Aye.
It is teaching. It is educating players how to play. You know, every team has their tactics and blah blah blah, and you go through that. Don't get me wrong. You need your mental holidays as well. You need your five-a-sides. You need your 5v2 boxes, and you need banter, and you need laughter. Aye. You do that as well. I call it mental holiday, not mental as a head.
Aye.
So you need that as well. So it's finding the balance is very important.
I think obviously some players I mean, I think I take too many mental breaks, too many mental holidays. But what would you do? What do you do to relax? Have you got a favourite Scottish dinner? Like, what would you get if you were going to? Do you like mince and tatties? Do you go to the chip shop? What do you like that you've uncovered in Scotland, food-wise?
I love haggis.
Yeah, you?
Yes.
I love haggis. I also, listen, black pudding is the king of breakfast.
Aye, definitely. Aye.
Black pudding, one for me.
What about a rolling sliced sausage? You like sliced sausage? Do you like that?
I don't eat too much sausages, no.
It's gone.
Black pudding. Black pudding I like, and haggis I like. I like to relax on a golf course. I like golf.
Right.
Playing golf. Whenever I'm in Finland, I like to go fishing. I've not been fishing in Scotland too much.
Really?
But in Finland, I fish a lot at the summer cottage and also on the sea. With Antti Niemi, by the way. You mentioned that earlier.
Oh, yes. Rakastan, yes. Antti Niemi. Rakastan. Is that how you say it?
No.
Is that how you say it? Rakastan, Antti Niemi?
Yeah, Rakastan Antti, yes. But no, it's Antti and I, we're good buddies, and we were roommates 10 years for the national team, Finland, and he's a great guy, and whenever I go to Finland, we go fishing together on his boat, and he loves that as well. So very relaxing.
Well, Mixu, I think we've took up enough of your time.
We need to do the thing with our quiz.
On to the quiz now. Quiz.
I'm bad at quizzes.
Right, so every week on Football Daft, we put our guest football knowledge to the test with our 90-second quiz. You up for it, Mixu?
I'm up for it.
Aye. So Mark Wilson's top of the leaderboard.
But I'm not
14.
confident. Sorry?
Mark Wilson's top of the leaderboard with 14. The good doctor, Kenny Duker's just behind him in second place with 13. Barry Ferguson and Owen Coyle are joint third and 12. We've got Murdo McLeod on 10. Andy Gorham, Jim Leishman. So David McCracken's at the bottom with 1. What do you think your chances are, Mixu?
Hopefully I pick David McCracken. Hopefully. I'm not confident.
That's what everybody says. Right, so we'll ask. You need to give an answer, Mixu. You can't pass. All right.
Okay.
Right. 90 seconds on the clock, producer John.
Yep.
Right. Name the French team that made a £2 million bid for Sam Cosgrove.
Queencam.
What club did Hibs new signing Alex Gogic play at before moving to Easter Road?
Helsinki.
What was the
ATK
name?
Helsinki.
What was the name of the trophy Rangers won in France at the weekend?
Just say something, man. Move on.
Cockerel Trophy.
How many games did you manage as Latvia manager?
Nine.
Which Scottish Championship club moved to fan ownership in the last couple of weeks?
Not be following Scottish football.
Pick a team.
Livingston.
How many Scottish Premiership clubs play in black and white?
Come on.
Is that a home shirt?
Time!
Thank Christ, you beat David McCracken. That's all I'll say. You beat David McCracken.
Ready?
Aye.
We'll go through the wrong answers for you, Mixu.
Too long.
Don't bother. They were bad questions.
You started really well. You got
He's going to win here, man.
Glenkamp. I didn't think you would get that. Well played. That was who made the bid for Sam Cosgrove. Alex Gogic played for Hamilton before signing for Hibs. The name of the trophy Rangers won in France is the Viola Trophy. I think that's how you pronounce it. You got your Latvia manager. You got to play 9 games with Latvia. Managed them for 9 games. It was Morton that went into fans' ownership. And how many Scottish Premiership clubs play in black and white? It's just the one, St Mirren. So
Did I get that right?
So you got 2.
Second bottom.
No, I got that right. I said
St Mirren. Right. I must have missed that, Mix, so I apologise. I don't want to get battered.
3.
Game 3.
Good effort, Mixu. Good effort.
Brilliant.
For being such a great guest.
Mate, you've been brilliant. Thanks for giving up your time and coming on, Mixu.
I've enjoyed it. Thanks very much, guys.
Thanks a lot, man. It's been great.
Stay safe and take care.
Thank you.
Care. All right.
We'll see you next time you're in Scotland for the charity wrestling bout. You Malta, right?
Absolutely. I get my tricot ready. My costume ready.
Aye, you do. Hey, I've got plenty of leotards that will fit you, big, and don't worry.
You got any oil? Have you got any oil?
Yes. Well, I've got an allergy to baby oil, but if you want some, I'll give you some. I'll get you some. Oh, the boys have plenty of it.
Thank you, Mixu. All the best, mate.
Thank you, Mixu.
Hey, see you later, mate.
Cheers, bud.
Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
So it's now time for our Beer 52 teaser. Well, I'd say it's teaser. We're going to do something a bit different this week. But before we get to that, let's tell you who won last week. We asked you this question. Identify the iconic manager in Scottish football from the anagram of his name. The anagram was Jams New In. And the answer was, Chris Toll.
Wim Jansen.
It was indeed. There you go. So yeah, that was our question. And the winner was Heart supporter Gordon Stitt. So well done, Gordon.
Gordon Stitt.
This Mixu song's really going to catch on, isn't it? You're going to make it catch on, Grado. So yeah, that's the winner this week. But boys, I've decided we're going to do something a little bit different going forward to win the beer, okay?
Ooh.
So do you remember last week we had the pro set very nicely sent in by Martin Anderson. He sent us in the complete pro set cards from the 91-92 season, and I got used to play a game where you had to guess the player.
I don't remember that. What happened? Can you remind me about that?
It wasn't much a game. Me and Grado got a breach pulled down off Chris Toll, man.
Pretty much. So what will happen every week is we're going to get one of the listeners to come on and challenge one of you boys to play this. Now, if they manage to beat you, they'll win the beer, okay? But I thought we'll have a rematch after last week and we'll play again, okay? So
Hold on, but wait a minute. See if we beat the listener. Do we win the beer?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Brilliant.
Right, let's do that then, okay.
Right, okay, and so...
I'm going to be an alcoholic by the end of the year.
Mate, No, you won't, because nobody will pick to play you. They'll pick me and Grado every fucking week because we're shite at it.
Well, that's the thing. I think John will need to put the names into a hat.
I think we'll need to do that because everyone will pick Grado every time we do this. If it's 91, 92, it's not, as he says, this is not his season. This is not his season.
I'm 95, 96.
Yeah, exactly.
91, 92, I was off the rails, man.
There you go. So the rules are really simple. We'll just explain it again. I'm going to read the description of a player from the Pro Set card from that year. You guys have got to have a buzzer. You buzz in. You give me the answer. 2 points for getting it just off the description. Only 1 point for getting it for the picture, okay? And once you've buzzed in, that's you out the game if you get it wrong, all right?
Right.
What's your buzzer, Stephen?
Shell suit.
Chris? And Grado?
But you better hang with this time. I was going, and you're not even going to Graham.
Right, okay.
Let me change it. Is it all right?
Right, test your again. Right, there you go. I can hear you fine. Right, okay, you ready?
Yes.
Right, here we go. This player made his league debut in 1986 after joining St Mirren from Linwood Rangers Boys Club. He is a player with a match-winning skills and is now enjoying... Chris?
Ian Ferguson.
Wrong.
Oh.
Stephen and Grado.
That's who I was thinking, mate. That's who I was thinking.
I'll keep going. He is a player with match-winning skills and is now enjoying his 6th season at Love Street. He's established as a regular first-teamer and is comfortable playing at Premier League level. Any want to take a guess before I show you the picture?
Fuck.
No. What?
No.
Hold on. Shell suit.
Bob.
Gus McPherson.
No. Grado, do you want to take a guess? We'll just turn the card over.
No, let me have a wee bash. I am.
He's googling it, the cunt.
Is it Alex?
Googling it.
John Hillcoat.
It's not John Hillcoat. No.
Googling it. He's sitting googling it.
It is. Do you know who that is?
Paul Lambert.
Paul Lambert.
Paul Lambert. Yep, correct. Right. We'll
You know what? The fucking first result. Oh, shit.
Oh, the first result that came up was Paul Lambert. Away you cheating back.
Paul Lambert from Linford Rangers Boys Club to the English.
Let's see that.
Right, okay. Right. I swear to God, that's the last one. Sorry, Trip.
I want you to turn and look that way. Look to your left. That's it.
There we go. Next one. This player made his league debut for Cowdenbeath in 1982 and his special defensive skills soon caught the attention of Hearts, who signed him in 1983. His career... Grado.
Dave McPherson.
Wrong. I'll continue. His career has been disrupted by a series of injuries, but he has shown courage in overcoming these setbacks. He has been capped at youth under 21 and senior levels by Scotland, a member of the 1990 World Cup squad.
It's not the struggler again, is it?
No, he was Hibs.
Chris?
Jim Beck.
Nope. Stephen? I can turn over the card for a point.
Wait a minute. What World Cup? 1990?
Hearts defender.
Oh, fuck defender. I thought, bastard.
Turn it.
It's Craig Levine. That's
Craig
Dave
Levine.
McPherson.
Craig Levine.
There's a
Craig
Craig Levine, aye.
I'll give you the point, Stephen, since Chris butted in.
Oh, no way.
Sorry, mate.
I knew it was Craig Levine when I seen the photo.
1-0, okay. This player, right, okay. This player joined...
You're right. Jado, hands up. I don't trust you.
Sorry, mate.
Right, that's it.
This player joined Dundee United from the junior outfit Carst Thistle and is enjoying his 2nd season as a member of the first team squad at Tannadice. He scored just 1 goal last season, but as much is expected from this term. Chris.
Paddy Connolly.
You're out. At 6'3".
Duncan Ferguson.
Duncan Ferguson, correct.
Bastard.
We were talking about him, we meant to.
2-1 Grado. Next player. This player has been one of the most exciting and dangerous forwards operating in Scottish football over the last decade. In 12 seasons at Ibrox...
Roy McCoist!
Wrong, Grado.
Chelsea.
Yeah, Stephen.
Mark Haley.
I'll continue.
12 seasons!
12 seasons, I knew it was wrong when I said that.
At 12 seasons at Ibrox, he won 3 league titles, 3 Scottish Cup and 7 League Cup medals. He left Rangers for 50,000, signing for Motherwell in 1989. Yeah.
Davy Cooper.
It is Davy Cooper.
That's bad. That's embarrassing, Bob, isn't it?
2-1. Here we go. Next player. To say the very least, this player is a much-travelled striker. He has played for 6 Football League clubs, including QPR, Aston Villa, and both Sheffield.
Nah, I don't know it, actually.
Right. And both Sheffield clubs, scoring over 100 goals. He joined Falkirk from Strasbourg in 1990.
Chris Waddle.
No, wrong. Continue. This player was top scorer at Brockville in last season's First Division Championship side with 16 goals and was voted Divisional Player of the Year by his fellow professionals. Striker for Falkirk.
Turn it
over.
John would know this.
Right.
That's because he's got the card.
I don't know who that is.
That is God.
Don't know who it is.
I don't know, mate.
Simon Stainrod.
Never heard of him, man.
You've never heard of God. You've never heard of God.
You never heard of Stainey?
Mate, God is Brian Laudrup.
How can you, seriously, you haven't heard of Simon
I'm
Stainrod?
kidding, I've heard him. It's because he said it's God.
He's got great feet and he looks like God. He's not a Tim, he's not a Prot, he is Simon Stainrod. You never heard of that one?
No, mate, but do you know what song I have heard? Big Mixu. Big Mixu.
Listen, I think we'll just call it that. You get the idea of the game.
That was good, but I like this game.
That's good. We'll do that. So if we do that with a listener every week, that's a good wee section.
That is, man.
So that's the idea of the game, guys. So get involved next week. Get onto our Twitter, on our Facebook as well. Tweet Football Daft or get on our Facebook page if you want to play, and we'll pick someone at random to come on and play against one of the boys. You have to be over 18, stay in the UK, and remember, Pier 52 is a monthly subscription service for beer. They source beer from across the world. Some great beers in there from great small batch breweries, and you can get free beer right now if you want it for just the price of the postage and packaging, about $4.95. You'll get a case of Beer 52 delivered to you at beer52.com/daft. That's beer52.com/daft. The word beer, the number's 52.com, and you'll get your first case of beers for just the price of the postage and packaging.
Boom. Well, boys, that was a good one today. Big Mixu was class, wasn't he?
One of my favourite episodes, I have to admit.
He's brilliant. And who would have thought at the end of it we've got a new song on Football Daft, man?
Football Daft. Na, 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 na.
That should be our outro song now.
Aye. See that? Get that one, John, right?
No, he was class, wasn't he? He was class.
Off again. It was good to take his time out and do that, man. Earlier in Hong Kong, speaking to us Dafties, you know what I mean?
I know.
That was good, but...
The,
Bit of pressure on you next week now, mate. Legends Lottery.
I know.
Okay, that's fine. Pressure is on, but as I say, John, get your phone book out.
Hey, boys.
Time to love yous and leave yous.
Aye.
We've got a nice wee review. Remember to leave a wee review. Somebody's rated it 5 stars. He's a lovely man. He says it was okay before, but it's much better now. Grado was fun as usual. Stephen and Chris are good new appointments. Good to hear a Celtic voice now. Lol.
Right, boys, I'm off. Right,
we're ready. Football now.
Boys.
Audio Frontier.